Chicken tonight.
Yo, what up, Dane?
What up, Santino?
What's going on,
You
man?
know what I love about you, Santino?
What's that?
Everything.
That's a pretty solid thing to love about me, and I appreciate that. You know what I love about you, Dane?
What's that?
Not a fucking thing. not one fucking thing.
Hang on,
wait. Not one fucking thing, but all the things.
Aw, and then you came back from the back
You had to bring
door.
it back
Thank you for
around.
that.
You know, you just had to be done.
was
Hi,
cute.
everybody. I
Hey,
think
everyone.
before I do the full intros, I think I'm just going to cue the music and let you guys see what we're about through a visual aid with some, we'll call it colorful audio.
I'll give you a hint. Billions. Okay. There's your hint.
Ooh.
Represent the lobby, not the people. 4 years in a sequel. The bottom line is the bottom line. They represent the full, not the hungry. The NASDAQ, not the country. The bottom line is the bottom line. They represent the greedy, not the needy and seedy backroom dealings. The bottom line is the bottom line.
Billions. My voice is kind of still shot out. I'm not gonna fucking.
It's all
lie.
good. It's all good.
Vegas was rough.
Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about that. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Failure Made Monsters, the show where we like to talk about everything from porn stars to politics. And typically, we have a guest from some different walk of life, but today we decided to just chat amongst ourselves. We felt like there was a lot to talk about. We wanted to just catch up. Dane thought he might be half dead by today, and it seems he may still be. So figure we keep it easy, keep it light for episode number 40. We will holding down the 40. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you want to watch, you like that, right? If you want to watch the entire episode, please check over, go to the Mainstream Misfits YouTube, or you can follow Santino the Misfit or Dane the Great on Twitch to watch the entire stream. So yeah, that's it. FailureMadeMonsters.com has all those links, and it is time now, Dane.
Yes.
Before we start talking about politics and shit, because we're going to get into it, there's been this the Senate vote today, Biden's tax proposals, the $6 million budget, the Arizona fucking recount with cyber ninjas. Yes, that's actually a thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, coronavirus news, all that stuff. But before we get into the important shit, let's talk about the really important shit, right? The super, super, super important shit.
Yeah.
How was Vegas?
Yo.
Again.
Vegas was pretty well. Okay, so when I hadn't been in longer than, obviously because of COVID, I hadn't been in over a year, whatever it was, like almost 2 years. And like I was saying before, there's masks are extremely optional. Like, so when we were in Miami, you couldn't walk around the hotel without a mask on.
Yeah.
Vegas, we're in the MGM, and like, no one said like if you had a mask on, you had a mask on. If you didn't, you didn't. And at first, I'm like, do I like? But like all the people that were working still had to like have.
It's like the etiquette. Just still, people are still trying to figure out even here in Cali.
Yeah.
Like,
do I have to? All right, I'll fucking do it.
People going to think I'm a Republican if I'm not wearing one, but I am fully vaccinated. So are they going to think I'm not vaccinated if I'm wearing one?
Right. Right. Yeah. Basically. But so then after a while, I was just like, fuck it. I'm putting it in my pocket. And if somebody says some shit, then I have it.
Fair.
That's kind of how I did. Plus, it was one of those things where you get so lit that you're like, who cares? Like who
worries and cares?
But it was crazy because like when I got to the airport, they had hella drug sniffing dogs, like lots of them, and they were all.
It's Vegas.
True, but no, like
so how did you make it through the airport? Is the real question. He's like walking very.
I have such a funny story about that because I wasn't aware. You know what? We're gonna table that discussion. For later. All right. But no, fucking. That was the only place where you had to have a mask on. They were like, yeah, you gotta have your mask up, whatever. And obviously, I mean, that makes sense because you got like a lot more people, I guess, coming in and out. I don't fucking know. Whatever. It's Vegas. Nobody really cared. But it was great. And then I yelled until I blew my voice out the first night. So it blended because the first night was 2 days. Cause your boy went for the gusto. It had been a while. And you know,
I'm still too old for that. Just thinking about it.
You know how you tell a story and like, because all right. So Vegas, if you don't know about this, Vegas has really dry ass air as it is. So like one, you got the dry ass air.
It is literally the desert.
Dude, dry ass air, you're drinking, you're able to smoke pretty much fucking anywhere, and you're screaming. And it's like, because you're trying to talk over everybody and the music wherever you go. So like to the point where I'm like, oh shit, I think I'm dying. I can't. But then my voice came back and I knew I was good. Well, goodish. It's still kind of finicky, but
trip was worth it.
The trip was absolutely worth it. Shout out the MGM. Thank you for being sweet to me at Wet Republic. I appreciate you. They'll know what it means. And also shout out to Sapphire. Wow.
You know, Sapphire was fucking minute.
Good old Sapphire. I mean, it has
establishment for those.
It has not changed even a little bit. Like everything is exactly what. Oh, here's a fun one. Went to the ATM. boys and girls.
Begging to get robbed.
Let me give you a pro tip. Forever, never forget this. If you have to get cash, if you're like, I'm going to go to a strip club, especially if you're going to go to a strip club in Vegas, never get cash at the strip club. And here's why.
Fees.
So the way those fees work, it's a percentage of what you're pulling out. So it's none of that shit like, oh, it's going to be like $5, $10. Motherfucker, I pulled out $100. It was $20 fucking to take it. I was like, get the fuck out. Really? And of course I paid it because you're already there, titty in hand. You're not going to be like, fuck this. I'm not
titty in hand. It's hard to say no.
Yeah, you're gonna go back, get it popping, but no, just be aware. Like, get it before you go. Get your fucking money before you fucking go to the strip club. I don't care if it's a last minute decision. Just be like, hey, we got to stop at an ATM first. That's all I gotta say.
That's a Vegas pro tip from Dane the Great, ladies and gentlemen. Pro advice right there. Also back to life as well.
Real quick. Shout out Allie. Allie was super sweetheart. Allie Cat, who has been on the show before, guest this show.
Shout out to Allie.
Huh? Shout out to Allie. Yeah. Happy belated. I was there for her birthday, but also
the last time she was on the show, she was just creeping in the background, right?
Yeah. And that's kind of how I pulled up to her party. It's like
that's the way to do it.
Whole lot of nudity. It was amazing.
I do like cash and nudity, so it sounds like
cash
it was a
and
good
nudity.
time.
Good times.
Cash and Nudity sounds like an album name. Cash and Nudity.
Yo. Oh.
That's it.
I like it. I like it. Cash
and Nudity.
Okay, shit. Let's put the music we have out first.
I know. Worry about it. I know. I will one day. Maybe when we're at the 1 year anniversary of the show, we'll finally have released a third song.
When's the 1 year anniversary of the show? Like March?
June.
Is it June?
I think so.
Obviously, it's not March because we're past March.
We're past March. Yeah, I think it's June.
Is it June? Are we gonna hit a year in June?
I think so. It's June.
That's
July.
That's pretty. I'm pretty fucking. I'm gonna pat myself on the back if you don't mind.
For
I can barely reach my back.
Actually making it through.
Right.
All right. You and I are both like, yeah. Should we? Do we keep doing this shit? And then we do it. And we're like, oh, this is fun.
Mariah, send pictures or it didn't happen. Thank you. That one. Mariah's rocking my shirt. She bought a shirt and I sent it out to her once I got back from Miami. I'm sorry for the delay. I was obviously out of town, fucked up. Yeah, fucked up and shit. So yeah.
Well, welcome back and thank you, Mariah, as always, for tuning in. And Rolo, we see you in the chat too. If you are in the chat, please engage, interact, say whatever the fuck you want.
Send nudes.
And send. I was gonna say send Dane nudes. All right, so you want to dig into the news? You ready for the news? You guys ready for the news? Not the news.
I'm down for the news. I'm down for
the news.
Okay, the news.
We can start with with the always fun coronavirus.
Yes. Coronavirus, which I have managed to duck since the first time, which is kind of amazing.
Somehow. And you're half vaxxed now.
Half vaxxed. My second shot is on the 9th. And I will fucking mainline something off somebody's ass crack once I get it and I know that I'm good. Like
that's how you know.
Eat straight off the floor.
Straight up, which I still wouldn't do with or without the existence of coronavirus. Yeah. So you'll be joining. Let's see. I just looked at the numbers before we started. We are at 50%. You're part of the 50% of the United States who has at least one dose, and 40% are fully vaxxed. That number has slowed the fuck down way too much because that shit was going up pretty quick and then just But even with that, cases are down 35% and deaths are down 20% in the last 2 weeks. So that's
look at that. Fucking science works. Holy shit.
Science.
Who knew?
Who knew? Somebody
all of the scientists.
I know, right? Oh wow. All the scientists.
All of them?
All of them. I was on Facebook and a buddy of mine posted something like, without getting political, yada yada, will you or won't you be wearing a mask indoors? Because of vaccines and the changes in CDC policy and this kind of thing. And I was like, well, it depends on my considerations of the people around me.
Yeah.
And what the etiquette, the requested etiquette of the establishment in question is. Right. And then someone responded with like, so you're saying like, I basically said, because I'm not an asshole. So I'll do what's good for like the people around me and the place I'm at. And someone responded with, so you're saying like half the country is like a bunch of assholes.
Yep.
That was the easiest question anyone's asked me all week.
Yeah.
But it was, she
90%. 90% are.
Oh, yeah. But the best part, if you see on my story, and shout out to her for being a good sport about it. She said, and spelt it wrong. So I didn't respond with anything other than a spelling correction. That's apostrophe R-A. And yes, I'm apparently one of those assholes. But anyway, so the other thing about this
wait, because I think I saw this. Was it the one where the girl went into the whole and I was 2 seconds from responding? She went into like a whole diatribe response, like, I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but I just don't think I don't want to be a guinea pig. Was that something else?
That's a different post. That's when that was some meme I shared that got way more traction than I expected to about fucking like, I'm not going to listen to the scientists and shit. I'm going to listen to like, Karen's Facebook.
Yeah. That was her. Yeah.
It is fucking absurd. But no, they're like, I've spoken to her before, that person you're referencing, and she has, I guess she took a drug that was prescribed to her by a doctor, and it almost killed her or something. And it was supposed to help another issue. So there are some people who are, I get it. Like you're sensitive to shit. You have some type of situation where taking the vaccine maybe could be dangerous for you or whatever. Like especially people who have high risk of anaphylaxis, blah, blah, blah. But like for the vast fucking majority of people, this shouldn't really be a difficult decision to make. So anyway, there's also, to kind of further that point, there's a new variant in India. That's been going around.
I saw that too.
It could be a lot worse. And they're saying that, there's potential for it to be even like to provide what would be the deadliest surge we've seen in cases as a result. Not necessarily here in the States but Britain. But the reason that
one of the most populated places on the fucking planet. Yeah.
But the main reason that it might not be as bad here and we could continue to see declines in cases and deaths is because of fucking vaccination. So it's like, I don't know how much more evidence you need. Like, they've been done multiple tests, and some people, I think the same person you were referencing also said, well, the vaccines aren't effective after like 6 to 8 months. Well, that's horseshit. We don't know that. All we do know is that they are crazy effective even after 6 months. That's been the most recent tests.
And it's like, why is it that people are so adamant about asking for evidence on things that there is evidence for, but not asking for evidence on theories that people just make it. It's like because your friend's friend told you that their friend got this. It's like
because it validates their worldview.
That's enough. But I gotta show you fucking 8 books of data in triplicate for the actual. You know what I mean? Like it's like ass backwards.
Absolutely. Anyway. The opinion of some random jerk off you barely know on Facebook somehow carries more weight than people who have been studying this exact thing for decades.
Speaking of a random jerk off, can I just
what's up?
detour for just a second? I want to come clean with you, bud. I got to do it. So the other night, just before Vegas, I actually for the first time watched Bully in its entirety. I'd never seen the whole movie before.
That's totally fair, though. I mean, I made it, so I don't know why you'd watch it. I don't know why anybody would watch it.
I seen half of it. I seen half of it, and I was like, "Yeah, I get the gist." And I was like,
"That's fair." That's fair. It's not like a fucking M. Night Shyamalan film or something where you can't figure out exactly what's going to happen from jump.
But I felt bad. It was on Amazon, and I'm like, by the way, check out Bully if you haven't yet. It's on Amazon. It's actually a nice, like a heartfelty little, like you'll get a
coming
nice
of age story.
Yeah. It was. I was like, you know what? I get it. I'm here for it. Danny Trejo brought his shit. I was like, and I'm texting him as I'm like watching it and shit because
you sent me the picture of me, my cameo in the film.
I was like, this
as a DJ of all fucking things.
Like, I'm proud of you for this. This is great. All right, sorry, that was my little tangent.
No, thank you. I appreciate you watching it, and thank you for the plug. Bully.movie, everybody. That's the website if you want to go find out where you can find it. It's available on Amazon Prime. If you have Prime, it's free. Otherwise, you can purchase it. I think on like Vudu and Crackle and all that happy horse shit. So check it out, Bully.movie. Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome.
I do actually want to ask you a quick question. Were you was there anything like were you thinking about any specific scene after the fact? I always like to ask that, like, was there something that like kind of stuck with you?
That stuck out
a little bit after the fact, like a joke or a line or a bit or even just something you were like, oh, that was fucking weird, or just like anything that stuck. I'm just curious.
Oh, there was, and I was gonna I forgot what it was. It was something where I was like, that wasn't natural, and I was gonna tell you, but it'll come to me. Give me this.
I want to let me know.
Because I was like, no, like the way he said, like no one would say it like that. It was one of those things. I got it. It'll come to me. Go. We'll keep going. Yeah.
Real quick in the chat too, Matt Slayer talking about the vax before. Hi, Matt. By the way,
what up, Matt? Matt just moved to Vegas. By the way, congrats.
Oh, no shit.
But yeah, he just moved to Vegas. He's gonna be working for. I don't know if I can say it, so I'm not gonna say it. But
next time I'm out there, and Dane's not on like a 2-3 day bender or something, we'll swing by and say what's up.
I mean, we could still swing by. We could do both. It can easily be both.
I don't know if I want to be present for that. Get me killed. Sorry, Mariah here talking about the India variant. Apparently, it's already here in the U.S. That doesn't surprise me at fucking all.
America.
And Rolo, no worries, man. Bad cell service. We know you're watching. We appreciate it, buddy, as always. Anyway, so what else? The other coronavirus news. So actually, one thing, I think we talked about it on the show once before. The Wuhan lab theory.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah,
which actually always like, and I hope there's not footage of me saying that I was like, no, that's fucking stupid in the past, because I don't think that's ever how I felt. I was always, that seems possible.
Yeah, it could absolutely be plausible.
Absolutely seems plausible to me.
I just never cared. I was like, whatever.
It was just like, what the fuck ever. Let's worry about the actual problem it's created, not where the problem came from just yet. Let's get past this part first. You know what I mean? It's like being in the fucking building while it's on fire and wondering how the fire started. I mean, it's like, let's get the fuck out of the building first.
It definitely has the potentiality to be incendiary for
that kind of played well with the
people that are already like, already being ignorant dickheads. Sure. Like that falls right into the fucking narrative. So 1,000%. That's not looking great, but
but if it's
reserve judgment.
Yeah, but like the other thing too about shit like that, it's like, all right, so let's say that's exactly what happened, right? Let's say this came from a laboratory in Wuhan and China covered it up. That doesn't mean all Chinese people and all people who originate from fucking China.
But
any more than like, I want to blow up Afghanistan or some shit.
But you know how ignorance works, though. It has a tendency to skip the details.
Let's just kind of
lump everybody in.
Pass right over all the obvious.
Speaking of ignorance, just real quick, did you hear about the fucking Park Karen chick? Remember when the bird watching black guy asked the lady to leash her dog?
Yes.
And she like freaked out and called the cops and like tried to weaponize the cops because she's a fucking cunt. Yeah. So she's suing her job because they said that they're discriminating against her because she's white.
The same chick?
Yeah.
For real,
because she feared for her life.
Someone needs to figure this. Someone needs to find this shit out right now. If that's the same fucking attorney as what's his nuts, the guy down in Florida.
Ramirez,
George Zimmerman.
Yeah.
Right? Tell me that's the same fucking attorney, right? Because that's that next level insane bullshit that she'll probably win. Like, it's broken as fuck. It's broken. Anyway, it's all broken. Speaking of broken, Speaking of broken, today there was a vote in the Senate on whether or not there should be a bipartisan independent commission for the January 6th insurrection. And Yeah, and in typical Republican fashion, even though immediately following the aftermath of the insurrection, they were like, "Yeah, there needs to absolutely be a commission on this." Blah blah blah. Yeah, so even though the majority of votes were in favor of, because of the Republican filibuster bullshit that Manchin won't let go and let us abolish, the final vote 54-35. Short of the 60 senators needed to move past the Republican filibuster. So yeah, it's out the fucking window already. And now there's going to have to be a partisan one, I guess, set up by the Democrats, and it won't have the same type of visibility. And you're like, but while this is happening, McConnell's still saying he'll continue to support criminal charges against the rioters at the insurrection. So clearly, you know that this whole thing was fucked.
Right.
The people who did it committed a crime, but the people who instigated it don't need to be investigated further because specifically it hurts their party going up into the midterms. That's literally
but also I think that there is definitely something in the water of Trump trying to make a fucking comeback and trying to make everything bad go away so that he can do that, which leads directly into the fucking Arizona recount, which is like it's all of this make people start to question the system so that I can kind of step back in and be the savior again.
Though they're also just controlling the narrative with like stuff so dumb that I guess people don't question it.
Right.
I don't understand how this works. I find this with people I talk to and some family and stuff. They'll mention shit to me and be like, well, what about this? And what about that? And like, how's that going? And I'm like, where did you I know where you got that information from. I know why you're asking this
Fox
question.
News.
None of this is actually a situation. None of that is real. It's all horseshit. Like, you need to be careful.
Or what is it? OAN.
OAN.
Did you see that interview with that lady?
CNN reporter.
Yeah, she's like, well, OAN, isn't it credible news? She's like, it's not.
That was
like, really? Is that what you're saying? Oh, I'm gonna remember that. Bitch, write it down. Take a picture. You should already know that shit.
Absolutely. CNN doesn't think OAN is a real credible news organization. OAN doesn't think they're a credible news organization.
Exactly.
Fuck out of here.
They're a tabloid. They're tabloid news. Yeah, Newsmax.
Same bullshit.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know what's going on, what's happening in Arizona. So I think it was a senator in Arizona or someone high up in Arizona politics. What's happening there right now is they use their power to grab a couple million votes out of Maricopa County for a recount / investigation conducted by a private firm whose owner was already like claiming that there was fraudness as somebody who's clearly biased here. The company, and the company's actual fucking name is Cyber Ninjas. That's real. And the shit that they're looking for
is it like bamboo in the fucking ballots?
They're looking for bamboo fibers in the fucking ballots in Maricopa County.
Wait, no, did you see the thing where they're like chickens? Fucking
So all right, so let's to catch everybody up. If you don't know what
sound
happened,
fucking stupid. I want you to know, me and most people.
Insane. All right, it's insane. The prevailing theories here, which are all fucking batshit, is that a bunch of ballots were flown in from China or South Korea, so they're looking for bamboo fibers in the ballots to see if that's true. Because apparently, all paper from anywhere that sounds semi-Asian has bamboo in it. I don't even know if that's actually true. Maybe it fucking is. I literally don't. I don't know.
Where? When was that ever a thing? Whoever said Reed? I guess Reed.
I don't know.
Reed is your close. No,
I don't fucking know. And then the other thing, let's see, the other one was that Trump watermarked the real ballots first, so they're hitting them with UV light, which can actually damage the ballots, which is fucking ridiculous. Like as if Trump had that kind of foresight.
Fantastic.
And then the third thing, and well, the one that's gotten most circulation, making the rounds and stuff, is that they fed ballots to chickens to destroy them, and then incinerated the chickens.
Because why though?
But why not just stick them in the fucking incinerator? Why not just burn the ballots themselves?
But what I'm saying is, okay, wait. Here's this is where. So like my problem is I try to like
you're trying to use logic,
imply logic when it does. But like I'm saying, I'm like, what would be the point? Once you feed a ballot to a chicken, what would be the
killing
point
the chicken?
Of killing the chicken?
He's gonna shit out tiny shreds of the answers,
right? Like it's gonna
with just your signature and exactly who you voted for.
I fucking hate people so much sometimes. The fact that this is an actual theory.
You did the thing backwards too. Just burn the fucking ballots. Why get a chicken involved in the?
Why the extra step, bro? Why the extra step?
You're doing too much work, y'all. It's too extra. It's too extra. Anyway, so those are the things, and that's actually happening right now in Maricopa County in Arizona because they're trying to continue with this narrative. And you still have Gates, who, even though he's under investigation,
wait, the kid toucher, right? Kid toucher.
Yeah, well, he like
allegedly
paying a bunch of girls.
Bought girls up with
Venmo. Yeah, it was paying Venmo for girls with Venmo and then flying them to other places and stuff for the purpose of, fucking them and all. And that was the whole thing.
Bro, and here's my other shit. Yo, look, so you could do that shit on Signal, right? And you can actually, I mean, there are apps that
they were doing, so
you don't have to use Venmo,
one of them,
which is public.
His accomplice was using one to help find sugar babies. Yeah. Right.
Okay, Matt Gates a freak.
Matt Gates trying to do that shit, and then he's on tour right now with Marjorie Taylor Fucknuts.
Did you hear what she said? Okay, wait, I gotta actually touch on this. So she stands up as a fucking elect or whatever representative.
She was about to go play tennis too, which was weird.
Right, with the flip flops on. I'm like, the disrespect, bitch. Yeah. What? Anyway, she says she likened the tearing down of certain statues like Christopher Columbus, George Washington statues. Oh, you racist slave owning pieces of shit
and wearing a mask.
And she's like, well, if it were up to me, I wouldn't even. And I'm paraphrasing. I'm sorry. I wouldn't, if somebody had erected a statue of Adolf Hitler, or I don't think there is one, but of
Satan himself.
Satan himself, I wouldn't have it torn down because I would want my kids to learn who that was. I'm like, bitch, books are a thing. That's one. Two, there was a statue that was tried of Baphomet that was tried to be that the Satanist church tried to enact. And did they lose their fucking shit about it?
Yeah.
Fuck. Anyway,
and this is on the heels of her comparing being quote forced, even though there's
forced to wear a mask, being selected for the gas chamber.
Yeah,
she was specific. I was like, bitch, really? Like, how are those even in the same room? They're not even the same sport. This isn't
same sport, not even the same country.
I don't like her as a person. I don't like her. I don't like her as a politician, obviously, but I don't like her as a person.
No, she's a terrible human being. Who is constantly spouting inflammatory rhetoric.
Yeah.
The problem with her is
she thinks the California fires were started by a Jewish space laser. What?
Yeah,
this is a representative of your party.
This is real shit too. Like, I know it seems like, and I'm assuming most of you guys have to know this by now and have heard this stuff because it's made the rounds on every fucking late night show and comedy show and news outlet. But like, these are actual fucking people that were elected to office. You know what I mean? And these are the same people. Literally, I mean, like, I'm used to like the McConnell double speak where he'll be like, "Yeah, we need to absolutely hold people accountable for this," and then he'll vote in the opposite way. And shit. He's been doing the same shit since holding fucking like 9/11,
1922 when he was like 34 years old. Yeah,
dude's been doing the same shit forever. But like, this stuff is like you're electing actual crazy people.
Yeah,
Republicans are electing actual fucking crazy people, like people who should not be allowed to wield weapons or hold elected office at all.
You're not wrong.
They shouldn't even be allowed to like fucking pump someone's gas. Shit's just dangerous,
sir.
I don't get it. I
don't think it's for us to get, to be honest.
That's fair enough. It's just for us, but it becomes our problem.
Yeah.
And it becomes our problem, and especially with these archaic rules they have in place.
Was it the CPAC? Where did Trump just speak recently? Like
a wedding at Mar-a-Lago.
Was that it? It was something they were showing footage, and I'm like, dude, you sound senile. Like
he's
all bullshit aside, like all political. Like you sound fucking.
He has
early stages of dementia.
He has for the last like 4 or 5 years, and he'll literally just start spouting out nonsense that's clearly stream of consciousness that has no grounding in the topic or matter at hand. He's done that so many times at this point. It's become like his style of speaking.
I want a reporter to just stand up and just be like, "Oh, you're president, don't you?" Like, just like really be condescending.
I love that.
But yes, Lucifer will burn them all. Thanks, Mariah. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. I think Lucifer. I think she's talking about the TV show though.
Oh,
which is a great show.
You know what? You know what? By the way, since we're talking TV, real quick, you know what show is good, and it was telling you about. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Yasuke, but it's on Netflix, and it's really fucking. Hold on, let me pause. It's not really fucking good, but it's good for what it is. And I was just, if you don't know who Yasuke is, if you're not familiar, there was an actual historically proven black samurai who served under somebody help me whatever of a feudal leader, a big
feudal lord
who he was big. He was like one of the main ones that like made Japan. Anyway, but he like I guess he found him and like brought him in and like trained him as a samurai, and so they made an anime and like about it. It's not probably what you're used to when you think of anime.
Well, because
like,
it's like American anime too, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the best
it's just so like is Castlevania, is that
American anime as well?
That's American. Well, that's better. It's better American.
It's better. It is
way better. Did you watch it, by the way?
I haven't seen the newest season.
Okay, you're gonna fucking love it.
Yeah, I like Castlevania is good, but it's not great.
It's not great. Yeah, and there's
I don't think there's an American anime that I've thought was as good as like the medium good Japanese.
Typically, where I can see like the difference is like in the movement.
It looks like Disney.
It
looks like Disney DreamWorks animation.
Yeah, and when they
Voltron,
when they run, they like there's an awkwardness there, and I'm like, there's something
action sequences in general are not as good.
Are not as intense.
And that's not to say that other countries outside of Japan can't make good action, because there are plenty. Like
I mean, Invincible's they did a pretty good job with
it. There's a bunch of really good God of the Tower or whatever the fuck, or God of High School, I think it was. I think it's Korean. Fuck, dude, the fight sequences in that are bananas. Really, really dope. And there's been a bunch of that come from.
I feel like with
Megalobox, I think is another one. I don't know if that's Japanese. I think the newest one might be Brazilian or something, but that's a really dope one too.
I didn't. You know what else I learned is I didn't know what's that girl's name? And Akila, is that it? Am I saying that right? Is it Akila?
Wait, the anime?
Like yeah.
Hero?
No. It was they just did a live action movie and it was like CGI whatever, but it was the girl with the big eyes.
Battle Alita.
Alita. There you go.
Yeah. That's dude. That original.
I didn't know that was a manga. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I had the anime DVD of that from like 15, 20 years ago, and James Cameron had been talking about doing that for fucking ever. That's why he produced it.
Oh.
Yeah. I think Rodriguez directed it.
I didn't know shit about that. It was okay.
It was good.
It held me. But that's the thing. Like I feel like with a lot. Sorry, I'm fucking nerding the fuck out now. See, this is what happens when I watch anime. But no, like I noticed that like what they'll do is they'll just light, like if it's American, they just kind of light the character and it's like that's the fight scene. They lit up and they must have power. But like if you watch like any of the other ones, it's like all it's movement and fucking lines and
it's
shit.
Dramatic
like,
as shit.
Yeah, like they're like I
love it. I absolutely fucking love it. And the real quick too, Megalobox is Japanese, so I can only think of a couple. Yeah, Megalobox was dope though. And real quick too, before we skip over it, the best to me that I've seen Black Samurai story is still Afro Samurai,
which I've never seen. What is
that,
dude?
I'm gonna hang on.
Is it racist? It sounds blaxploitative.
Classic. And I think let me double check this.
Wait.
Hold up. It doesn't Sam Jackson do the fucking voice?
Yeah, I have like a visual in my head.
Yeah, and like RZA did the soundtrack.
You know what? I think I am familiar
Afro
with
Samurai that. A classic. That and still my favorite is Samurai Champloo though, as far as like the old school samurai animes go. Dude, Samurai Champloo is like
Champloo?
Yeah, CH. Yeah,
I know. I get it.
You got to watch, and the soundtrack.
I'll look into it.
Phenomenal.
I'm trying to like
Fat John and Nuhabes and stuff. It's really good.
I'm trying to broaden my horizons and shit. But
this watch Samurai Champloo. That's one of my favorites.
Like it's a love-hate thing because I love all the nuance in the story when it's anime. Like they're gonna take the time to like really twist you up about what the fuck is happening.
Sure.
But there's also like this lull where you're like, fuck, get to the point. Like
depends on the anime.
I don't want to watch this motherfucker walk through a field for an episode.
It depends on the anime. There's a lot of so there's a lot of like, especially the bigger series like Bleach and Naruto and all those and stuff. They do the filler episodes are insane. There's too many. It's largely though because they're trying to keep up with the manga half the time. It's like an actual paper version that comes out. I get the need for it for something like that massive, but for fuck's sake, like I can't watch. You can't. They'll literally stop in the middle of like you're invested like 30 episodes of this one story arc, and there's a fucking fight happening, and it's like the pinnacle of this fight scene, and then they'll cut away for like 6 episodes to a storyline completely unfucking related, like in a flashback with characters you don't give a shit about. And you're like, what the absolute fuck? And if you were watching that weekly, it's literally months before you finished a fight. I know Dragon Ball would do that, like drag out a minute for like a whole episode, but like they took that liberty and just
Dragon Ball definitely did that shit.
Fucking insane, dude. Dragon Ball was like, so good at least keeping your attention as a kid though. You're like, all right. Like I realize you said the whole planet's going to explode in 2 minutes, and it's been like 5 episodes, but like I'm okay. I'm still with you. I'm still here, Goku. We're good.
So I want to real quick kind of shift a little bit because
no,
I know, right? I'm all over the place. I'm sorry, guys. My brain's spooling up, but no. So I wanted to talk two-part story, right? One is I wanted to discuss mental health. Lightweight.
You really did want to take a big change. All right.
Yes. We're going to the whole.
Is it my rambling that made you think about it? Like, this kid loves anime way too much. No,
because you made me think about it because I was gonna say, yo, this is fucking stupid. At some point, I was gonna be like, well, that's too much. I'm not gonna go into that or whatever. And that got my brain thinking about this. Anyway, so here's what happened, right? I fucked up. I'm not gonna lie. And I wanna, this is my, what's it called when like a reporter takes their fuck up and like makes it their fuck up?
You're owning it?
Distraction. Whatever. Anyway, I am going to acknowledge the fact that I fucked up. Whatever the word is. I'm looking
retracting
for
your
retraction. There we go. So Rap Caviar. Are you familiar with it?
Yeah.
So Rap Caviar tweeted something yesterday, early in the morning. It was like 8:00 in the morning. And it said, and I'm reading it verbatim. It said, Drizzy, K. Cole, and question mark. Who takes the 4th spot on the Mount Rushmore? Okay. And there's this picture, right, of them on the Mount Rushmore. And I see this at like 8 a.m. and I'm like, Mount Rushmore rappers, wait a minute. I'm like, the fact that Pac ain't on it though. Sad face. Because I'm like, yo, Pac's on the Mount Rushmore. But then immediately my Twitter blows the fuck up. What I didn't know is that they had just posted that. So when Rap Caviar posts something and you catch it like a minute in, if you say something that people are going to acknowledge, then it's going to fucking blow because it's, it's Rap Caviar.
Wait, but like, all right. So some context here. They're talking about just the people that are in it now?
Hold on. I'm going to get there.
Because otherwise, like that's a very different looking Mount Rushmore overall.
Yes. Hold on. So all I saw J. Cole, I saw Drake, I saw K. I saw a Mount Rushmore picture, and I'm like, hold up. Pac better be there. Fuck that. I don't care. Sure. Anyway, so then immediately, the next comment right after that was, yeah, Pac was lethal in the 10s. I didn't realize that at the end of that statement, it said, who's on the Mount Rushmore of the 2010s? Yeah, I fucked that up.
Oh, you fucked it up.
Yeah, I fucked that up. So then everybody starts lacing me. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Yeah, I fucked that up. But I still maintain.
You let it ride though instead of deleting this shit though, didn't you?
Oh yeah, of course I did. Of course. I'm gonna be like, fuck it, whatever. That's attention is attention. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Be mad.
All press is good press.
Yeah. But so I'm like, but my thing was, no, it gets deeper. Don't think this is over yet. By the way.
God. So the second part?
No. We're not even there yet. So the thing is that I stood on it. I was like, wait a minute, fuck that. Actually, I don't even care if it's the 2010s, the 2000s, the 90s, the 2000 nows. I don't give a fuck. Pac should always be on any Mount Rushmore rap. I don't give a fuck. That's my opinion. I think, and then so I said that, and I try to lay it out a little bit more, a little more intelligence, and motherfuckers
How'd
was
that
like,
go?
not well. Everybody's like, how's the motherfucker that died in the 90s
doubling down
compete?
on a fuck up?
Hard. But everybody's like, how's the motherfucker that died in the 90s? Like what gives him the right to be on it? And then that kind of pissed me off because now I'm like, well, a lot of shit. The fact that most of the people that are on that bitch for the 2010s would say he should be on the fucking Mount Rushmore. But I digress.
Can argue with that.
You know what I mean? There's an argument to be made there, and I could have just acknowledged my fuck up. But then I was like, well, I don't like the way y'all are taking the tone that fucking he just shouldn't be on. Like, fuck that. So what? The 2010s, I don't give a fuck. None of them did more than he did in the 6 years he was. Anyway. So that's when I
breathe, Dane.
That's when I digressed, and I'm like, you know what? Let me chill the fuck out. You know, these fucking kids and shit. They don't know shit about shit. They want to They want to put K-Dot on a Mount Rushmore. It's a Mount Rushmore. It's permanent. All right. Anyway, so I was like, okay, fuck it. I'm gonna leave it alone. It'll be by tomorrow. It will have gone away. No, sir. No. So
really,
yes. Wait. Just today, a day later. Fucking World Star posts that fucking what's his name? LeBron James responded to that fucking tweet with like
your tweet.
Not to mine, but to the overall Rap Caviar tweet. He answered it. And so they posted his response. So now it's like fully blown the fuck up. And I'm the very first comment on the fucking tweet, and it's something that the fact that Pac ain't on it, like, it's just all right. So that brings
hang on. Let's just hang on real quick. I'm gonna this is a live broadcast, and I'm not going to edit it, but let's just pretend I could. Let's go back and let's just assume now from here moving forward, everything you just said is bullshit, except for the fact that the tweet happened and you completely meant to do it, and you did it all just so people would respond. You pulled a Donald Trump on Rap Caviar and just owned the fuck up. Kafifi for life.
Well, here's what I'm gonna say. So this brings me to the second part, right? Because it was like at first you gotta understand. Like, I mean, it's got something like the one when he dragged me, the one dude that dragged me right after I posted that shit. Fucking his shit alone had like 2,000, 3,000 likes. Everybody's reposted it. Motherfuckers like, you're a dumbass. You didn't do well in school and just whatever the fuck. Because you know that's the thing. Like that's the culture is, especially on Twitter, is if I can roast you. Like everybody's just looking for the roast session. They don't care. They're not really. Nobody's really on there to uplift. Like it's not the point. They're like trying to find whatever it is quick that I can roast this motherfucker, get some attention, and then everybody jumps on it. So like that's the thing. And I'm aware of that, but still, and I know that like a lot of what this everything that's happening is like none of you know me, whatever. But at the same time, shit's blowing up, and it's all like fucking dumbass. And here's what I'm gonna say. Look. Be careful with this social media shit, because if you don't have the wherewithal to filter this shit properly, I can assure you, it is understandable. I understand when this shit presses people to the point where they like fucking snap, lose it, have
how much do you care,
issues,
right?
Yeah.
It's got to really come down to like how much do you actually care?
Exactly. Well, but then you
can just use it as much as you can, like some of these motherfuckers do, and just absorb all of it and make it work for you.
Right.
You know,
but it just goes to say, like, and here's what I will say too. The difference is I'm grown. I can imagine somebody in like fucking senior year in high school, junior, you know what I mean? Junior year in high school, say some shit on the wrong thing, and like everybody just drags them, and you just really don't respect. Because I've never, to be honest. It's not. I don't usually put myself in situations that are incendiary. If it looks like it's gonna be a whole bunch of drama and people are gonna, I don't care. You think what you want, but like there are, like I will say, when 10,000 people flex on you all at the same time, it's like you need to have a strong
mental fortitude.
You know, that's tough to say if I was in high school and shit, man. Fuck, I'd be looking at myself like I was a failure at life behind a joke.
When I did the Melissa, the Real Housewives of New Jersey thing, when I did the video of Melissa and we dropped that the first time, and it was on the homepage of Vimeo, not Vimeo. What the fuck was that?
I forgot that.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. The video thing, the video.
Yeah. Not Vidya, not Vimeo. What the fuck was it called?
I forgot, bro. I can't.
But anyway, they had that website that had like a gazillion file. You know, they the first time I ever heard of Jessie J was through their Lyft program. They were like attached to YouTube, and they would like boost the fuck up.
Right.
You know, whatever. So we had like almost, I don't know, dude, like 500,000 views in a day or some shit. And the comment section was just unforgiving, dude. I had to stop looking at it. I was like, fuck this. And it's like, you know, the gay shit, the Adam Lambert thing, like, you know, corny, literally everything. And some of it, like, all right, you know, all right. And then Twitter started too, and I'm like, all right, I get it. And I told you about the Vanilla Lambert. They were calling me like, Adam, you know, fucking all that shit. It was just weird, but I kind of get it. And then and I dug in, man. I did big gay night out at Six Flags with her. We did the fucking thing with the Jonas Brothers down in Orlando in the middle of like a floating stage in the lake. I was like, fuck it, like whatever.
Let's go.
Say whatever you want. I'm going where the opportunities are. Right. And I'm having fun, and that's all that matters, you know. Yeah. But I
so listen,
motherfuckers can be brutal.
So here's what I will say, right? And then like, you know, I also like I put out the I Do What I Want video, and man, I gotta give it up to one. Y'all need to learn how to spell if you're gonna talk shit to me. Period. If you can't spell doo-doo water, fuck you. Fuck you, nigga. Go back.
What D-U-D-U?
D-O-D-O. That's not how you spell doo-doo, bro. There's definitely two O's.
That's a dodo. It's a dodo.
Do. But I'm just like, look, this is what this is what I'm gonna say. Look, take your breaks.
Water.
Somebody put seriously, everybody watching the live right now and everybody watching the motherfucker later, go on and say whatever you want. But if you want to say some nice shit and you want to drag that motherfucker that said what somebody said some shit like this is the worst music I think I've ever heard, or something like that. I'm like, motherfucker, hold on, because country music exists. No, hold on. But no, it's like, here's my thing. Take your breaks from social media. Don't let this shit hype you like this is real life and these are real people. And they would say that shit to your face because they never would. Like, I think one of the first things somebody said on that Twitter thing after the dude dragged me was, "I'll beat your ass." I'm like, but you really won't though. You know what I mean? So it's like, just keep a good
it's all
perspective on.
It's literally. It's like, you ever see 4chan is a good example of what happens when people can be completely anonymous, right? Yeah. You look at, 4chan and that type of shit, and just the way people talk and the shit that they'll say. So you give them like mild anonymity with Twitter or some shit, or at least the screen between people, and people say a lot of dumb shit and will talk a lot of dumb shit, and it's all hyperinflated nonsense. Like, fuck them and whatever. Keep clicking my shit. Yeah, keep getting me in front of the
exactly.
If 1 to 10% of the 100% of motherfuckers who find me like my shit, you did me a favor.
Check my shit out.
I'm just saying, if you ever need a prime example of somebody who leaned in to their situation and literally made a career out of it, but in like the best way possible, and still does it, is Monica Lewinsky.
Oh, did you see that fucking tweet she tweeted or something?
All that she done it. See that? So that one got traction. She does that all the time, and they're fucking hilarious.
What was it?
It was like the most recent one was like, what's one time that you did something that you thought you knew was a bad idea and ended up not being worth it, and she just did the side eye emoji response. Like that. But she's fucking hilarious. But she does shit like that all the time. But someone in chat asked, and I got to know, what's your? Oh yeah, you saw it. So
I put it up. Yep.
Who would it be?
Is it if it's only 4? What is
who's your fourth? If those are the first three.
If those are the 3, first of all, I wouldn't put Drake on my Mount Rushmore.
Drake is no, not your Mount Rushmore. Let's just be real. Like, who would be the as far as the culture goes and as far as the music industry goes, and like in that 10-year span, who made the largest impact on music that they should be in a top 4, like for that reason. I'm not saying the fucking dudes on Mount Rushmore are my favorite presidents either, but I feel like there's a couple. It's hard to take this. It's hard to choose. But
I mean, I'd rather do my all time. I got my all time already. But
from the 2010s.
From all time, no.
So I'm saying 10s. I'm curious though, like who in the 10s?
Just from the 10s. Shit. Who was it? I barely remember 10 years ago, bro. Like,
I was thinking about it before. I mean, like, I love Childish Gambino. Like, so personally,
I'll give you Childish. Yeah, I'm tripping. I would absolutely, without a doubt.
But I do have to say, as far as also being like insanely influential, would have to be like Future, because he literally.
I mean, Future.
Didn't everything after he popped there and with the early trap
changed.
Everything was.
But a lot of that was okay. So the way I say that is he's a lot less of a rapper in that sense. That did the most for me. I feel like if we're talking MCs like if you put J. Cole, K. Dot, and Drake, you're talking about rappers. You're talking about they did it with like how they spit, and that is absolute Childish Gambino.
It's Gambino. Gambino's one of my all times. So
my all time, he's top.
Donald Glover in general is one of my
he's top 5 for sure.
I've been into him since fucking camp and shit. Like he is, fire.
Yeah,
absolutely. There's another question in chat. A couple of them here.
That one.
Yeah.
I'd like to know.
Without don't click it. Don't click it.
I'm not.
Yeah, we'll keep it. Somebody's asking me what was like hanging out with Tommy Vexed. We should drop a song ASAP. No. I will I will not and do not converse with Tommy anymore. Tommy, I don't want to get super into it. I'll talk about what's public and try and keep it as short as possible. Because I can't. There's some stuff I can't say. It's not my place to say. But short version is I've known Tommy for years. He was the singer of a bunch of bands. I met him back in New York. I met him at the gym, and I've talked about it on the show before. I've never personally had an issue with Tommy. He and I were cool. I think the last time we hung, we went to his place for New Year's. My wife and I, not this past, but the one prior, with him and his then girlfriend. And we were fine. And I've talked to him since. He's been in my place. I've been in his. Blah blah blah. We stopped speaking. I reached out to him when my band was dropping a song last year, Further Down Again. And I was just like, hey, you're kind of a monster at promoting shit, because he's been in multiple bands and projects. Like, just, any recommendations for the best way to put this out the way the market is right now, especially in pandemic times and shit. Yeah. And I never heard from him. And that was the last time we spoke. And then it turned out he cleared me out of social on a bunch of platforms and stuff. And so around the same time, he started getting super Trumpy and all this. Yeah. So anyway, that was that. And just for that reason alone, I was like, all right, well, that's some childish shit. Like, all right, I'm not going to, that's fine. It is what it is. I'm not going to talk to him. And then
did you hear our song?
No, seriously. And that was like a month or so after that we did Little Baby Bunker Bitch. But I have not personally spoken to him since, and it wasn't like I just didn't care. I was just like, whatever. Then some other shit happened. He's not in Bad Wolves anymore. And I've since learned things that I had no fucking idea about, that have completely changed my opinion of him. In that, fuck that dude. That's
fuck terrible. Him in the butt.
Look, I've never personally had an issue with him. He's always been nice to me personally, and my
I got a fucking personal issue with him.
There are things that I know.
What up, motherfucker?
And I have other friends that are affected by it and this and that. And I don't want to get any more into it than that. Yeah. But which it'll be a conversation again we will have in the future, I'm sure. Anyway,
hands. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Anywho, what else? Scarlett should be on it. Scarlett Carson should be on the 2010 Mount Rushmore for hip hop artists.
Yes, that makes nothing but sense.
You mean Santino Noir? I should be up there.
Okay, but I will say, if you're giving me all time or you're letting me make it, one, I would never make a Mount Rushmore for a fucking 10-year period. That's bullshit. That's one, especially when there's goats, like real fucking goats that literally everybody's.
M is on the Mount Rushmore forever.
I mean, well, fucking
M is on the Mount Rushmore forever, indisputable. M is on the Mount Rushmore.
I don't even know. I don't even know that M would put. I don't even know that M would put M on the Mount Rushmore.
I don't care what M would do. M was trying to kill himself at one point. All time.
But all time though, you got you're missing. There's KRS-One, Rakim are still a fucking thing. You can't just skip them. And then you're definitely gonna have a pocket of Big. So it's like you're running out of room pretty fucking quick.
M's top
10. Yeah. I'll give him top 10. I'll give him top 10 every day.
Fucking,
I'll give him top 10. I don't know that I'll give him my personal top 5, but I understand him being top 5. That's how
he's my.
I absolutely understand him being top 5.
He's hands down my number 1.
Is he your number 1?
Yes.
Of all time?
Of all time.
I don't know. I could never put him. I could never, because most of his pentameter is stolen from Rakim. Like most of his trickery is from Rakim.
Hang on,
he said that.
I know that. And hang on real quick. Just because you use something from someone else who came before you doesn't mean you can't make it your own. By that definition, literally all rock bands are
well, I just mean
for the original rock band.
I just mean that he it's hard to make him number 1 of all time. Yeah. If that's the case. That's all I'm saying.
All right. So for me personally, right? He was my he wasn't my first favorite hip hop artist. DMX was. Because I got into him before D.
DMX is even just top 10.
Yeah, no, that's
I can do DMX top 5, but only
he's in my top 10.
It's tougher to put him top 5 because he shit it all out. Like, oh, by the way, speaking of which, if you haven't had a chance, DMX just dropped his posthumous, not him obviously, but they just dropped his posthumous album, Exodus, and it is bananas good. It's like
it's good.
Yeah, it's actually really good. It's really like
that kind of great and kind of sucks.
Well, there's a couple of things. I have a couple of like little beefs with it that I'll mention. Actually, this is a perfect form for it. There's parts where like, so there's a track with Jay-Z and Nas, and you can tell that that's just dialed in verses that they had from other shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And they just were like, "Fuck it, here you can have this verse." I mean, it's whatever. The song's good. But it's like you couldn't kind of throw a line or a couple of bars in there that were like a little bit more like, I remember when, you know what I mean? Like y'all wouldn't be like each other without each other, but whatever. And then you can definitely, it's good, but you can definitely tell like it would have been better if he'd have had enough time to go back and tighten up, because there's moments when you're like, ooh, he's out of fucking breath, but that could also just be him, because he was what 50 years old and fucking smoked heavily his whole life and all that shit.
And probably, maybe they weren't even final takes either.
Yeah, no, they definitely weren't. That was the other thing. So, but other than that,
that's aside from problem, like it's like pre-pro shit.
Yeah,
aside from polished in post.
Aside from all that shit though, like I mean, it really like they put their fucking back into it. Alicia Keys' song is fucking phenomenal. There's every feature that's in the industry that was big during that era is on it, and it was really nostalgic to fucking hear the Lox again, like really eat shit up. You haven't heard that since like the fucking 90s. So it was or 2000s, whatever. Anyway, it was really cool. It was good.
I gotta give it a listen. I didn't even know fucking came out, which is fucked up. I should have been a bigger deal.
Yeah,
but that's how it goes, right?
I have a feeling it will be. Like just because it's posthumous. So
I hope so. But by the way, M is still number 1.
I mean, look, I don't. It's okay. Look, okay, and I get that, but my personal number 1 is Pac. My personal number 1 will always be Pac. I will never come off of that. But
I never got into Pac, to be honest. I just never. It was one of those things. It was like, what's a good example of this? Like
that boy there was bad.
It's like some shit. Like it was like same with like literally all older metal and stuff too. Like I just wasn't. I was underexposed to it growing up.
Yeah.
So I just didn't hear it. Like I heard it. I knew California. Like California. That's literally all I fucking knew. By Tupac. And that's like why it was a great song.
He wrote that shit in jail. That motherfucker was a monster.
I didn't know, and not only did I not know, monster. I don't know. I didn't know that until just now.
All right, fuck it. Let's get in. Look, here's what I'm gonna say, right? Okay, look, what people I get it because it's fucking now, everybody's fucking kids these days and shit. But if
Matt Gaetz.
That was actually pretty good. But no, if you knew where the fuck the shit came from, if you knew like the shit that he did, like it was motherfuckers dying over rap. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we're killing each other over this shit. Just rap, not gang shit. None of this blood crip shit like motherfuckers love to rap about now. This was just rap. Motherfuckers were murdering whole squads just over rap, and not even just rap, because motherfuckers were from a different part of the country. That was what the shit was.
It was another version of another version of something that existed on a smaller scale.
And I get that, like, people, like, he's been gone a long time, so it's like it's out of the lexicon. But to say, oh, you know what, he died so long ago, who cares? What's he done? Like,
yeah, I don't agree with that at all.
That's a bull. And then the next thing I tacked onto it, I'm like, you know what? In my honest opinion, Nip should be on the fucking on the Mount Rushmore too. And people are like, oh, Nip wasn't inspirational. I'm like, he didn't do shit for rap. I'm like, so look, at the end of the day, it comes down to it's your preference. So if we're just talking preference any fucking way, mine can be Pac should be on that motherfucker, and it shouldn't be an argument. Like, the fuck? Yeah. Anyway, it's just,
no, you're 1,000% right. And it is all preference. The only thing, and I guess in your situation was like, there's literally a time window that they were specific about. And you just said, fuck you.
It was 8 in the morning.
You didn't say fuck you by a couple years. You said it by a couple decades. You know.
Yeah, so I was not giving a fuck. I kind of get it. You know me. Like once I hitch my trailer to some shit, we're riding to the wheels fall off. We rocking.
Stubborn. That's what it is. Stubborn.
Yeah. I'm aware. I'm aware of it, but knowing is at the. So okay. Well, here's what I'll say. Mount Rushmore, for me, Pac, Rakim. Fuck. Just because he influenced me so much, Slug from Atmosphere, I gotta do it. I'm sorry.
I get that.
I'm putting him up there.
I get that. Tone Deaf is up there for me for that reason.
Tone Deaf. Wow.
I actually sent someone Tone Deaf. But
he only had one album. He had 2 albums.
I know.
You know, if I could,
2 years ago, that's the last thing I remember.
If I could, I'd put Immortal Technique on there, but he's not. He had like few albums. Yeah. Okay, and I guess because he's such a Godfather KRS One, because he's such a Godfather of like everything we now know is rap, and like it wouldn't have been shit without him. Like, but that's kind of like where I would see it. But I mean, look, Eminem, you know, he's got a little subsect right there. They'll carve his name into the wall for me.
There are so many artists that came out after the fact because of M, and a lot of people, and he introduced a different way of doing hip hop that really I can't recall existing before him as much. With that, like. He was, I don't know, he was kind of what, not even in his delivery, in his like demeanor. Like, I feel like he was sort of like, if I don't know what's a good example, a bit like what Marilyn Manson was to metal for me growing up, Eminem was to hip hop growing up, because it was just this sort of over the top. I'm going to say and do literally anything just because I know it pisses you off. And I mean,
well, actually, here's the thing. So I can see that being an argument that can be debated. And here's why. Because the presence of rap and hip hop as a whole was always that. It was it started like that was the whole goal, was to be able to say this shit like what was it? But I agree with you. The difference being though is that in the beginning it was like there was a purpose and a point. Not all time. It was a lot of it was just to see what we could get away with, and I feel like
I feel like is what M's entire fucking early career was based on, was let's see what I can get away with. Except I genuinely don't think he gave a shit early days.
But NWA was a thing before him, and if you listen to NWA and you listen to the shit they said, Snoop Dogg was a thing before him.
1,000%.
If you listen to Doggy Style,
you know, and
he got away with the shit.
This is another point. This is another thing too, where it makes sense to say, like what I said earlier, is like I was underexposed to that growing up. So like to me, my version of NWA was Eminem.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? When I grew up, I wasn't.
Let's call a spade, or in this case, a snowflake. And let's just say, for a white audience, he was able to kick that fucking.
It's not even. I mean, that's 1,000% true as well. But it's not even just that. I'm going to kind of bring it back a bit and unintentionally throw you under the bus just a touch, and saying that the decade does matter in this situation because that's really what it comes down to. For me, I was in high school or going into high school when all that shit was coming out with M. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like all the shit I listened to in that like 5-year span really shaped a lot of what I listened to afterwards.
Didn't M come out just a few years after Pac had even died? I think he did.
He was like, so I think 99.
Yeah, and Pac died in like 96.
It was like the same year DMX came out. I think it was
yeah. See, and that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. Like, because
he didn't hit peak Eminem until like 2000, 2001.
But like you do remember like when M came out and then they did the posthumous Pac albums and shit, and M was like fucking
on it,
so goated that he could actually get the opportunity to produce. And
he produced?
Yeah, he produced a couple songs. He had, and he's just like, it's just such an honor. And it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why for me,
M's older too. So generationally, decade wise, for him, those were the people for him.
Yeah.
And I bet you the dudes, this is a fact. Yeah. Like, and all the guys in NWA have those people for them, and so forth until people are playing fucking lutes somewhere in a pub. You know what I mean?
DJ Quick
about The Witcher.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, well, look,
going to your Witcher.
That song is still fucking goated. I don't care what anybody says, and I can't wait until the second season comes. Of plenty. But yeah, I mean, all right, I'll give you that.
Let's say we're both right. In that it depends on which situation you're talking about, because without a doubt, and after you said it, like NWA was doing this shit before and so stupid, I'm like, oh, you're 1,000% right. Now that I know that after the fact,
I'll say this: everybody talking shit to me on Twitter right now, fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. I said what the fuck I said, and maybe it was early in the fucking morning, and maybe I didn't read the fucking thing all the way.
Maybe you were still recovering from Las Vegas.
But I said what I said, and I stand the fuck by it. And if you want to come see me, come see me. I promise.
If you want to, I will. Real quick, go on to failureMadeMonsters.com, head to the submission form at the very bottom, and let us know you want to be a guest on this show.
Yes,
and come on and talk with it. We'll talk it out.
And also listen to my new song that I just dropped today, because it will tell you exactly what I think about you and the entire industry.
There you go. So you have strong opinions about things, and then I think that's a pretty good place to end this one. I was going to go into Biden's $3.6 trillion in tax increases and $6 trillion budget proposal and stuff, and I have a whole fucking notepad written down about all the bullet points about it. But instead, we talked about hip hop and Twitter, and I'm okay with it.
All right, cool. Okay. I'm like, I feel bad if you.
No, we're good. I bored everybody to death anyway. We'll talk about it next week and bore them to death. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. This is Failure Made Monsters. You can check out the audio-only version podcast on all places podcasts are available. You can find those links at FailureMadeMonsters.com. Please be sure to go to the Mainstream Misfits YouTube and subscribe to keep up with every new episode that we release each week, which typically is Friday at 6 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, yada, yada, yada. But we are considering maybe now the world's opening up and shit. And this is a quarantine thing that we might change the day and time, or maybe just move it to Thursdays or something. So drop us a line, hit up on our Discord, or, message one of us directly, or hit us up on the Failure Made Monsters Instagram. Anyway, just kind of let us know.
DM me on IG.
Yeah, send them nudes and what your proposal is for the new sign.
Send me arch back shots, please.
Arch, you do like. And what was the thigh? What was it?
Oh, the Thash shot. Yes, I will always take a Thash shot. I don't care. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you think it.
I'm gonna send you one if you keep.
Send it over. Send it over. Send it over. Listen. Hold on.
You shouldn't like this side boob, because that's my side boob.
Hold on. Let me tell him. Send it over. Right. I'll rate it. I'll get back to you immediately, and I promise I'll make you feel good.
Did we just enter the Dane the Great ASMR chat? The fuck was that?
Yo, let me tell you just real quick, so you know. You send me the fast shot. I'm gonna send you a picture of my balls.
What is it? Is that what they do?
Hang on.
I hate it. I hate people. All right.
FailureMadeMonsters.com. Visit us there.
Oh, jeez.
That's it, man. Yo, we should be back next Friday.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see what the fuck happens. I also real quick want to say, I don't know, I doubt he's still watching, but happy birthday to one of my best friends on the planet, Mr. Tom Harris, rhythm bass player now, but former rhythm guitarist Scarlett Carson, and one of my homies for life. He's that motherfucker's family as far as I'm concerned. So happy birthday, you old motherfucker. All my favorite people seem to be born in May, or at least a whole fuck ton of them. So There's a thing going
Taurus
on.
Gang.
I don't know what it is. Yeah, on paper, Capricorn, Taurus. I don't know.
A whole lot of people was fucking in whatever's 8 months before May.
I don't know. Don't ask me to do math. Like, fuck out of here. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. FillyMadeMonsters.com. Blah, 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 blah. Yada, yada, yada. Like I said, we love you guys. Thank you for joining us. Dane.
Yes.
I love you, buddy.
I love you right back, man.
That's it. That's where it's at. By the way, 2010 was a completely different decade.